Right. Are you ready? Right. 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 We'll start the meeting. Welcome, everybody. Item 1, to receive and accept apologies for absence.
Peter Bishop, Tina Cadell, Stan and Sue Heaven, Keith Gilbert, Kat and Steve Turley Long.
Everybody happy to accept those apologies? Righty-ho. Item 2, to note declaration of members' personal, prejudicial and disclosable pecuniary interests in respect of items on the agenda. Are there any at all? No? Right, minutes. To confirm that the minutes of the meeting held on the 22nd of November 2024 are a true and accurate record. Everybody? Yeah. They're not 26, right. Can't even, my memory's so bad, can't even remember what I said 2 minutes ago or a minute ago. Right, the 26th of November. Everybody happy that they're a true record? Right, 3.2, to receive an update on items from the previous meeting, if not agenda items for this meeting.
As in your pack, we've had the internal auditor, and I think that all went well. Report is has been circulated. Thetford Road allotments, again, I think the notes are in the pack, the meeting with the owner. The car parks, I don't think that comes up anywhere else, to be honest, but we have had a response from Breckland District Council. I don't know if anybody does want to sort of follow up on that.
I'm going to talk about briefly under the line
okay.
at the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
50th celebration, which we've got going on tomorrow. I'm hoping you were in agreement that the museum provides tea and coffee. I think they've offered to, but we will be paying for that.
Okay. Catherine.
I spoke to Chris on Saturday, and he said he hadn't had any response from the office yet about whether that was accepted or not. So can you let them know today?
It's been in and carried out some works to the heating. We're expecting them to come back and do some more. They really just did the service when they came in this first time, and we are booked up for the guttering to be cleared.
Right. Thank you. Right, to receive reports. Chairman's report. I attended the Air Cadets presentation on the 27th of November. On the 29th of November, I attended a meeting with about the allotments. On the 4th of December, I attended a meeting at Elizabeth House in Dereham for the Breckland Council concerning the car parking charges, and that was for the whole of the area, not just for Watton. On the 5th of December, I attended a food hub and the Charlotte Harvey Trust meeting, and on the same day, I attended a Christmas function at RAF Milden Hall. Vice Chair's report.
Nothing to report, unfortunately. Due to illness, I wasn't able to attend anything.
Right, sorry to hear that. Right, Clerk's report.
Again, I think most is in your pack. We've had the builders look at the windows here, so we're waiting to hear back from them. Church Walk, we have received a response. One of the officers from Breckland is now with the Norfolk Trails team, strangely enough, and she's picked this up and says she will get back to us once she's got some more information, I'm assuming. Bridle Road and relocation of the Memorial Garden bench is to be undertaken after Christmas. Mayor's chain we have got is in the office. It looks pretty good, so we'll see that tomorrow. The biggest thing I think is the boundary review. I've put information in your pack. It's there on the website. I've looked at it. I think it's something we need to put on the next council agenda if any comments are wanted to be put forward from this council. And that's it.
Okay. Tony.
Sorry, Chair, can I just check with the clerk? How did we get on with the signage for the finding out from highways? Are we still waiting on that information to come through? Same goes for obviously Muddy Lane, or is it Stan's Walk that runs up the side of the park? When we discussed the clearing of the overgrowth, and are we any closer to knowing when them trees are going in?
I think the trouble is with Norfolk County Council, they've got rid of so many staff. They are understaffed. The staff that left were the ones with all the knowledge, and so it's a case of you ask them questions and they're all desperately running around trying to find out what the answers are because they don't know. So. Yeah. So. Right. So item 4.4, reports from lead councillors. You've all had your report, the report for the festive market. Is there any questions for Jill or anything like that? Yeah.
As Don said, the report's in the pack. And I know we said last time, and we said in the report, grateful thanks to everybody who worked their absolute socks off to sort something out and salvage something from the wind and the rain that we seem to be having every other weekend at the moment. So we can't thank them enough.
Right. Thank you. Public participation, of which we haven't got anybody. Finance, to approve payments for December 2024. I think everybody's had those circulated round. All right. Everybody happy to accept? Right. Now we move on to the really exciting, to note the draft report received from the Internal Auditor. I think we just have to note these, don't we, Catherine?
I think at this stage, Jane's just asking us to note it. The Finance Committee will look at the report. Usually he suggests actions which we may want to take, and Jane will put them into some sort of an action grid and bring that back to the council for our agreement. But he did say that there were little things, but there was nothing major that we should be concerned about at this stage. I think that's right, isn't it, Jane?
Yeah, there's nothing that's jumping out that we really should change in our procedures. So we're okay. And it is things like, I think, signing. One thing is this income and expenditure sheet that comes out each month. It's something we should be asking the chairman to sign, and we don't usually, but that's little things that we can bring in.
Good. So finance will look at that over the next couple of months. Right. We'll move on to item 8, to consider a grant application from the Norfolk Clubhouse, and you've got this in your pack. Catherine.
This is a group that did use the community centre for a while. I think it's something that's helps people greatly, and I would like to see if we could support it by letting them have this grant.
Is there a second of that? Jill, a second. Everybody in agreement? Yeah, right. Cool. Right, there's another one. from, I'm not going to find it. The Norfolk Community Law Service. And you've got all the information there. Graham.
I don't really think we should be doing any of this, because if we do this, that means we've got to support the one in the high street. Right? So at the end of the day, I think this service has got more money than they know what to do with. So they're only forwarding people on to someone else. So I'm against it.
I would just say that they've put for how many members live in Watton non-applicable, and I understand that they couldn't really answer that, but if they can't tell us how many people in Watton are going to benefit, then the answer is 0, and we shouldn't do it.
Okay. Jill.
Yeah, along similar lines, they're not saying where they would have their drop-in sessions. And I did have a wonder, rather than giving them any money, if we could offer them a room at the Charlotte Harvey once a month for their drop-in session. Our business rates are not high, but if we so wished, we could always offer it as a trial period of, say, 6 months, free of charge.
Catherine.
I think that's quite a good idea. I mean, if we need to talk to Sue about the logistics of it, but we could send them a letter saying we were interested in the service that they give. But we feel it would be more appropriate if they discuss using a room at our community centre where other community services were offered.
Yeah. Is everybody happy with that compromise? Yeah. Okay.
I think we need some sort of response to them that because we're not giving them the grant.
We're not promising anything.
We're not promising them anything. We're
No.
just saying that could be a possibility for them.
Yeah. I have worked with the Norfolk Community Law Service in the past. I was a director of Citizens Advice Bureau, and they quite often used them for people that just needed some extra legal advice but didn't have the monies to get it, so it may well benefit people in Watton, but I agree this they haven't come up with a compelling case of those sort of things. And Graham.
Yeah, as far as I understand it, if you're applying for a grant, then the grant paperwork would then say how much this company makes or turns over.
Yeah.
And if it works out that it's going to be astronomical, then we're not going to give them anything.
No. Well, they haven't actually put everything in we require, have they? So, all right, Tony.
Sorry, can I just ask, what did ever happen to the Citizens Advice? Because we used to have one in Watton, didn't we?
Yeah, Mid-Norfolk Citizens Advice, which was based in Deerham, had a cabin down at the Charlotte Harvey building, and then that got into such bad disrepair that was taken away. But Norfolk Citizen Advice Bureau took over Mid-Norfolk, so in fact it just swallowed it up, really, sort of thing, because of financial constraints and well, they're sort of like a partner organisation, yeah. So yeah, Catherine.
I mean, if we want to make it clearer to them why we're actually not granting this. I mean, we can say that they didn't give us financial information, and there wasn't a lot of evidence of its benefit to the residents of Watton. I mean, I think that's true, isn't it?
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Got all that, Jane? Great. So item 9, to accept draft staffing policies with minor amendments and customisation to be made by the office with agreement from the HR committee. Jane?
There's quite a list there in your pack, and we are gradually working through them. Office, HR committee, we're sort of tweaking as needed, and then they're going back to CBR, who supplied the draft policies, for them to sort of take our comments on board and then reissue, so they are relevant to this council. So there's not much change. They are pretty standard policies, but this is just more to bring it to your attention than anything else, that we have this raft of policies that we are wanting to implement. And as well as those that are listed in your pack, I've had another 12 in today. So it's continual, and we're getting through them as quickly as we can. But it's just to say, do you support us continuing and working on them as we are, really?
Yeah. Everybody happy with that? Good. To receive notes from the meeting held on the 29th of the 11th, 24, regarding the Thetford Road allotment land. Do you want to mention anything about this, Catherine?
I don't think it's appropriate to go into the details of the notes, because
No.
I think some of the things are quite personal to the landowner. But I think we can say that the meeting was quite positive, and it helped both sides clear perhaps some of the misunderstandings that were growing up. And Mrs. Tilson is now going away to talk to her solicitor and consider what her next steps might be.
And her desire was still for the land to come in our direction, sort of thing. So, Graham?
Out of curiosity, I mean, this is taking a little bit longer than I thought it would have done. What is the major hold-up? You know, is there a glitch somewhere that needs hammering out, or what?
It's legal things.
It's partly to do with some legal aspects, and partly to do with personal reasons, which I don't think it would be appropriate to talk at length about. But I can say that there is will on both sides for this to happen, and if the legal will is there as well, it should happen. No.
We've already
hopefully not.
decided as a council that we wouldn't do that, didn't we? So the meeting that we had was agreed that the landowner would go away and explore ways of making it happen, you know, on that basis, I think. So, and it's nothing that we've done wrong, and it's nothing that the landowner has done wrong either, really, sort of thing. It's just, you know, yeah. It's all a bit yeah. It's a bit, yeah. Well, we've got our fingers crossed anyway, Graham. Right. Right, item 11, to consider creating a town calendar that can be sold at next year's festive market. I personally think it's a good idea, and if we can highlight our town events on it, sort of thing, can't we? So they're for everybody to see. Tony?
Yeah, this suggestion's actually come from me, but just having a general look at it over the last couple of days, we can create a calendar that and add our own personal events to the calendar, as well as standard bank holidays and stuff like Christmas holidays and that. But the idea would be that we ask the general public who have been to local events to to produce pictures for us. So like the Christmas lights switch on, the kind of events that happen at the sports centre, anything within Watton. And we pick those pictures for each month, because I think there's an event that happens every month pretty much within our calendar that we can use as the backdrop for the calendar itself. Yeah. It's just a case of then coming up with the initial design, whether we want a very basic or whether we want something a little bit more fancy.
Yeah. But this would be for 2026, wouldn't it? Yeah. So we've got that time to you know. No, that was my first fear when I saw it. But yeah. Oh yeah. We'll have to do it, because hopefully it would be a fundraising thing, wouldn't it, for the mayor's charities? So we'd have to make sure that we price it and everything correctly. Jill. Yeah.
Although we say it's over a year, I think we need to start planning it fairly soon.
Oh yeah.
Because we can start selling it probably from September, October for the following year.
I mean, absolutely. I mean,
yeah.
we've got people that have got pictures out there that have taken of events past that we could use on the very first calendar. Exactly. That would be my thought. And then obviously the years after, if we decide to go ahead with it and make it an annual thing, we just update the photographs. Yeah. But we just create it as a Watton Council or Watton Town calendar as such.
Further on that point, this calendar, if we are short on time, could we make it a heritage about the actual town itself? So the photos represent our past as well. Right. So it's yeah, that's what I'm,
I don't see why not. Jill.
We could do it as a competition.
The options are there. I mean, it wouldn't be hard to organise to sort of like. I mean, but it's just basically to approach the council now to sort of say, are you willing to have a go?
Yeah.
And then what we can do is we can update the rest of the council when we meet again in the new year, and sort of like say, can we go ahead with this?
Catherine.
I think it's a good idea to bring it up now, Tony, because it gets it on the work in progress. And then we won't forget about it, because it'll be there and you keep checking what happened to my suggestion about the calendar, and you can keep following it and saying how far have we got now, have we got any photos in and all that sort of thing. And it means it's something that we have in the front of our heads rather than it just being something we agreed ages ago and nobody feels that they're responsible for doing it. We're all responsible if it's on there, because we all should be following it.
So you're proposing that we go ahead with it, Tony? Have we got a second? Everybody in agreement? And so as a starter, we could, assuming it's going to be like a front cover and then 12 pages for each month, we could ask Lauren if she could get some rough costings for that kind of thing, and then it gives us a starting point, doesn't it? So,
I have seen that, obviously, with it being Christmas, obviously Black Friday deals and everything being the way that they are, I'm sure there are deals coming up, but at the moment they're offering things like 80% off your first order. Do you know what I mean? So the scope's out there.
Yeah. Cool. Right. Yeah, that's right. Planning next. We haven't received anything. Oh, right.
Jane, didn't Keith send us something about the skate park?
Yeah, but it's nothing that we've decide on, is it? Sort of thing. Yeah,
Was it the 17th?
I can't remember. Yeah. Yeah. Well, the offer is there, isn't it? For it's gone out to everybody, and so yeah. Right. Item 13, to pass a resolution to exclude the public and press to consider confidential matters. Yes.
I don't know whether this was written wrongly on the agenda or not, but there is a 12.1 in the agenda pack, which appears as 13.1, I think. It's about wells. So is the thing about wells coming next?
Oh, yes. All right. So,
Or do we want it above the line, not below? I don't know. Okay.
oh, I think it is general knowledge. Yeah. Does everybody-
Good to know. that
I
there's-
heard people talking
Right,
about
yeah.
it in the town the other day. So, yeah. So should we, we'll just deal with it we'll exclude the press now and then.
Yeah, okay.
And everybody, yeah, right, okay.